Hello, this is the tutorial on how to revive somebody that has been dead on a Minecraft SMP. So say you're playing on an SMP with a couple of friends and somebody dies. You guys are doing the Canon Live system like what the Dream SMP does because everybody's a bunch of fans. So somebody dies, oh no, but you want to bring them back to life. So how are we going to do that? Well, this video is going to show you how. So I have a couple of layers. So the second one is how we're actually going to revive them. We don't need to worry about that right now. The first one is building the revival chamber. So we're going to need to build a chamber so that we can do the 2 steps. That is this step. And then the third one is optional because it requires command blocks, but this does make it sound more authentic. I'm going to be going off of the assumption that you will be using these because it is your own SMP and not something like the Dream SMP. But we can go ahead and get straight into it with building. So first of all, how does this work? How do all of these elements tie together to make a dead man come to life? Well, it has to do with these ingredients. Regeneration and instant health will give a player life, and that will kind of help them, to have more life. So it's kind of like the act of healing. You have a beacon which can provide status effects and the beacon beam can cause direct access to those. A totem of undying which stops the player from dying, so when they do die, they don't die. But if you invert that, when they're already dead, they come back to life. Soul sand to create the physical new body of the ghost, to actually make the body, because what are they gonna be? If they're not dead, they need a body. And the soul sand will create that. And then the lightning, to tie it all together with its mystical properties, can infuse the totem of undying and make it into a totem of reviving. So when the ghost is killed, they will actually get revived instead of just staying a ghost. And I'll get into that later, because this is the steps that we're going to actually need to revive it. First, we have to actually build the revival chamber. So how are we going to do that? Well, first we're going to start by digging a 3-block down 5x5 area. And you don't have to do this, but it's better if you do. This is some of the optional parts of the build, but you do have to build this somewhere, and it's quite tall, so if you want to dig it into the ground, that is useful. Now that we've dug out this hole, we're going to use a beacon. So this could be of any material. I'm going to use iron because it is different than the 3 materials you have to use. I'm using iron because iron is, well, relatively easy to get. It powers a beacon, as you see here. And it's not one of the 3 elements that we need to use for the totem, because the 3 elements we need to use for the totem, or the resurrection chamber, is gold, emerald, and diamond. And we're actually going to need an iron ingot to power. We're actually going to need an iron ingot to power the beacon with resistance. Once we power the beacon with resistance, we can move on to the next step. Again, I've got some temporary blocks. These can be whatever you want. You can style it however you like. But now we're just going to fill this in a little bit. This is done. This is just complete. So we've got the beacon into the ground. It's better if it's in the ground, but it doesn't have to be, obviously. But now this is the part that's not optional. We're going to place 2 dispensers on both sides. They have to be opposite each other, but it doesn't matter which orientation they are. So if I do this, that is also fine. After placing the dispensers, we're going to place 2 blocks on the other side. Just 2 of any block, doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and fill this in because it's useful for our next step. Now we're going to place in these valuables. So now we're going to actually place in these valuables. So first we're going to start with the diamonds, then we're going to go to the emeralds, Then we're gonna go to the gold. It has to be these 3 materials in this order, or else it will not work. Now we're gonna take 12 obsidian, place them in each filler to make a kind of golden square at the top. Then use 4 at the top. Then we're gonna go down to these emerald blocks, and we're gonna place both of the obsidian on the exposed side of the emerald blocks, like this. So all these obsidian are on the exposed side of the block. Now we need some way to power these dispensers, and you can use, I'm using redstone dust here, you can use whatever you'd like. Redstone dust is the easiest, and then just a button to connect them, so both of these dispensers will go off at the same time. This is the general shape. You can style it however you like, it doesn't matter, but this is what's required. The beacon is required, these dispensers are required, and they have to be dispensers, they cannot be droppers. If they're droppers, then this won't work. It has to be these 3 minerals, and it has to be the obsidian as well. So that's how we've made the machine. So how are we actually going to revive somebody? Well, we're going to do that with these items. An item frame? Where did I get this? An item frame, a totem of undying, specifically these potions, the poison 2 potion, or any poison potion actually, an instant damage potion, and then a regeneration 2 potion, and an instant health 2 potion. These 2 are not as important, they just have to get the player to half health. These 2 are important, they have to be the most potent and the most... They have to be the most potent potions that you can make of these. And then 4 soul sand. So, this is a tricky 2-step process into reviving somebody, both using lightning. So, lightning will strike on the beacon. So what we're going to do is we're going to place an item frame on top of the beacon and put the totem of an eye in that item frame. Then we're going to place the instant health potion and the regeneration potion in both of the dispensers. Both potions have to be in each of the 2 dispensers. If you put both potions in one dispenser, it won't work. But basically what this is going to do is this is going to splash the potion effects onto the totem, and then using the lightning, it will infuse the totem with those potion effects, and we will actually get the totem of reviving. So, we just have to hit this button to activate the dispensers, and then this button to activate the lightning. So I'm going to do that now. If you see fire directly on the beacon, it worked. And now we can retrieve our totem of reviving. So now there is a totem of reviving in this item frame. And we're going to take this totem of reviving. This is what the inscription says. Totem of reviving. Infused with the powers of healing, this totem can revive ghosts. And I've generated this with a custom command. It is this command. And I just swapped them out in post. And I will link this command down in the description. So, now that we have the totem of reviving, well, what do we do with it? Well, this is where we're actually going to revive the person. Since, there's nobody else with me, I'm just gonna use myself as an example. So, your ghost has to equip the totem of reviving, and we have to make sure that there is no water, and, it can't be raining. If you don't want the problem of that, then you could just build it in, like, an acacia or a desert biome. But now, we're going to use the dispensers for the same thing. We're going to place the poison potion and the instant damage potion inside the dispensers. And what this will do is it will get the ghost down to lower health, and it won't die. And it'll get it down to low health, but it won't actually kill the ghost. So I'm gonna put a button here. So I'm going to put a button here so that I can press the button, and then it will dispense everything for me. And now I'm just going to make a redstone line that is a really long delay to strike the lightning. So now I've built this long road of whatever this is. So these are the repeaters. When I hit the button, the redstone line will go, and then it will charge the redstone, line of redstone repeaters, and this is the command block that will strike lightning on me. So the lightning has to kill the ghost. If the lightning doesn't kill the ghost, then it doesn't work. You might want to get another player on board for this part instead of just praying that the poison 2 potion will actually get you to half a heart before this line kills you. So you could have another person watch over your health and make sure that you're actually, dying. You're at half a heart. But with the totem of reviving in hand, I'm going to press the button, which will dispense the potions. Then we're going to place the soul sand like this. And then, as I get poisoned, I can the lightning. Because the totem of reviving popped, I am now back to life with however many cannon lives you'd like to give a revived player, and now our ghost is back to life. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I know since there's a lot of stuff about it going around, with the Dream SMP, with 2 ghosts on it after cannon deaths, I know a lot of people are doing the same thing, and I engineered this specifically for them if they ever wanted to invent some lore like this. Again, with all the commands and stuff, most of this is optional, but if you want it to be as authentic as possible, you can. If you don't want to use my design, that's also fine too. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a revived friend now. Thanks for watching.